Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Rayleigh remix, and let's try out a fun team here. We've got the Shadow Quagsire with the Shadow Tentacruel and then the Toxapex in the back. So we're just going to switch out here into the Shadow Tentacruel to see what they have in the back. They like to go for this Arrow Ace. We're going to go for the Skull here to potentially get a debuff and do a decent amount of damage considering it's a resistant move. If we throw the Acid Spray there, they could just switch out anyway, so we just try to do as much damage as possible. Here we're going to go for the Acid Spray. This potentially could get a shield. Okay, we do get a shield, which is great. We get the shield back, and we have it debuffed now. We're going to allow this Arrow Ace to go through, takes out our Tentacruel. So they potentially don't want to see a poison type in the back, so let's see if we can wiggle out of this situation. We have our Shadow Quagsire coming back in. We have to tank one of these Arrow Aces. We do get the farm down at least, so a lot of energy onto our Quagsire. Oh man, it ends up being the Poliwrath in the back. Poliwrath, so we have to switch out into our Toxapex, then they switch out into their Shadow Glider. This is unfavorable for us. Let's see if we shield the correct move. We do shield the Dig. We are going to be able to survive a Dig at least, so we have that going for us. We're going to be able to get to another move here. We can farm a little bit extra here, so we're going to go for this Brine. This is going to get the shield or it's going to get the KO. Let's see what they elect to do. They decided to let it go, and then they're just going to come back in with their Shadow Poliwrath to farm it down. So that is unfortunately the tough situation that we dealt with. If we had run maybe Mud Bomb, we possibly had a chance, but we needed to get to at least 3 Mud Bombs anyways, and you can see right there, they were able to reach a Skull before we could reach another stack of moves. So GG's to our opponent. Tough team to deal with right there, especially the double flyers on that team. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We have the Shadow Quagsire versus the Shadow Empoleon here. We're going to pretend that we have Mud Bomb. Let's see if we get a shield from our opponent. No shield from our opponent. What a call by my opponent. But that tells you that they potentially have 2 counters to this Quagsire. So we elect to shield once here to potentially get a shield back. We do get that shield, and then now we know we can switch out and catch a move potentially. We do catch the Hydro Cannon, which is inefficient right there. We're trying to get to a move before they do, and they are able to reach their Thunder Punch. The Thunder Punch does take out the Tentacruel, so kind of a tough situation right now as they are having an answer to all of our switches, and we're gonna have to go for this Stone Edge here. Let's see if they elect a shield. No shield. They decided to let it go. They have a Gallade in the back, Shadow Gallade to deal with. We have the Aqua Tail to get the last shield, trying to get to another move. They do snipe our energy here. We let this go because we think the 1 shield Toxapex is going to be able to win us the game because it's very tanky. No matter what move they throw here, we can survive it. We are going to let this Elite Blade go through, and we do realize that they had the Elite Blade did, I don't know, roughly like 5 to 10%, so we are able to survive another one. But because we are able to farm down the Empoleon, we do have a move to throw back at this Gallade when it comes back in, and luckily we have a shield, so we don't have to worry about any move, and there you go. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, considering the Shadow Gallade was able to snipe that Quagsire energy. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We have the Shadow Quagsire versus the Shadow Dragonite. Okay, favorable for the Dragonite, but let's see if we can wiggle out of this situation. We decided to go for the Stone Edge outright here. We either want the shield or some big damage. Our opponent does end up shielding, trying to get to another move. Nope. They are able to throw the move before we get to it, and now we have the Toxapex to come back in here. The Toxapex is tankier, so we do allow it to potentially go down if they decide to throw a move, but they decide to switch out and go into the Greedent. Greedent here is spammy, but we should be able to tank these moves. 1 Troll Blade does get released. We are able to tank that easily. Now their attack is boosted. They go for the Body Slam. Pretty decent damage. However, we are able to survive that Body Slam as well. Go for the Brine here. They are into the low red. We are able to farm it down, which is great. If we come back in with the Tentacruel with 2 shields, are we able to farm this down at this point? 1 Dragon Claw gets shielded. They already have another Dragon Claw. This is a no-brainer. We have to double shield anyways. Let's see what they have in the bag as they decide to switch out. It ends up being the Quagsire. Ouch. Quagsire was going to be really good against our backline, and unfortunately for us, this is the end of this Tentacruel. So tough backline right there. The double poison, not wanting to find these Quagsires. The switch in when we had the Tentacruel, unfortunately didn't bait out their Quagsire. They actually came out with their Greedent, so that was a little bit unfortunate because we would rather have the Quagsire come in and potentially take out our Tentacruel, but nice read by my opponent. All right, here we go. We got the Mantine to deal with here. We're going to stay in this time. Let's play this a little bit differently. We're going to go for the Stone Edge here. Stone Edge is going to do some heavy damage if they decide to let it go. Nice. So we can potentially farm down with something in the back if we elect to do that. They go for the Ice Beam. Our opponent here is revealing Ice Beam, so potentially we can... okay, our opponent here is able to barely survive, and then they're going to throw their Arrow Ace here to take out our Quagsire. We're going to farm down with the Tentacruel and hope for the best here. They end up having the Gligar in the back, so Gligar here is going to have to get to some digs. However, it is a 2-shield situation. We do get the debuff, and that is going to be helpful. We're actually going to shield here. Ends up being the Arrow Ace base, so nice play by them. We're going to race to another Skull here. This is going to get some big damage or another shield. So we do get 2 shields out of that situation. Here, we're going to let this one go. Ends up being the dig. And then we're going to come back in with our Toxapex here. We know that they're debuffed and they just use some dig energy. We're going to let this one go here. Ends up being the dig. We can survive that. And it looks like they have the Shadow Poliwrath with no shields. This is going to be beneficial for us. We go for the Sludge Wave. Deals some good neutral damage. They are going to throw a move here, but no move is going to KO because they're all resistant. We are able to farm down, and then we are able to farm up to a Brine. This Brine here will take out the Gligar. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the combination of the Toxapex and the Shadow Tentacruel in the back. That Tentacruel actually helped us a lot versus that Gligar, debuffing them and then forcing them to use all that energy. All right, here we go. Shadow Gligar here versus our Quagsire. We have the opportunity to throw these Aqua Tails a little bit faster than them. So we're going to elect to stay in for now. We go for this Aqua Tail here. This is going to do super effective damage, but it's not going to KO, so they know that. We're going to go here and... oh, nice catch by my opponent. Ends up catching the Aqua Tail on awkward timing too. And this Jellicent here is not good for a backline, so this is going to be a sack opportunity. We're just going to try to do as much damage as possible with this Tentacruel and hope for the best. We go for the Skull here. Our opponent avoids the debuff, it looks like. Now we're going to have to let this one go. Serve is enough to take out the Tentacruel. We're going to have to come back in with the Quagsire here, as we are going to be able to get to this Aqua Tail here before they get to their next move. Aqua Tail does take out the Jellicent, thankfully, and then we're going to switch right back out once they reveal Gligar. They are going to throw a move. Let's see. Ends up being the dig, so we do shield the correct dig. Looking for a farm down. Okay, no farm down. And we're going to double shield this dig because they're kind of revealing that they don't want to see this, but ends up being the Registeel in the back. So Registeel here is going to be pretty tanky. We know that they potentially have Zap Cannon, so we need to throw a bunch of these Brines as much as possible. However, they do have 2 shields, so that's going to be difficult to deal with. One Zap Cannon goes through, it does debuff us, and we're going to switch out of that. And then we're going to try to farm up to double Aqua Tails here. One Aqua Tail does get thrown, it does get shielded. Okay, and they are at their next move here. Focus Blast does take out the Quagsire, and unfortunately not enough health to take it out. So GG's to our opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you think it's a fun team.